think it's ironic that for hundreds of years, and probably every community in this country, older people have been working on the long-range plans for the community, and at the same time they say the young people are our future, but for some reason they haven't connected the two. They haven't connected those plans and the young people who are going to have to live with them or implement them.
I think one of the struggles that Pittsburgh has had is that it hasn't had that input from young people. It's one thing to say we want young people's opinion, but it's another thing to actually engage them in the process.
Equally important and equally the responsibility rests with the young people themselves to empower themselves, because they are in effect empowered to step forward and define the agenda of this region.
I think young leaders show an example to young talent. They see them and they say, well, if they can do it, then I can do it.
There's no better way to change things, to shake things up, than to empower people who are not normally a part of the process. If you want to attract and retain young people, empower them.
I think we've got a good baseline set of studies that Susan Hansen did at the University of Pittsburgh, Richard Florida, Carnegie Mellon, some of the work the Allegheny Conference has done, the New Idea Factory. We have a baseline of measures about the types of amenities that are important to young people.
In the Pittsburgh area, there are a lot of great ideas that come out of our universities. Unfortunately, those ideas don't always stay in Pittsburgh, and one of the main reasons is because there's not initial seed funding for them. Well, the same thing is true in the cultural community. It's absolutely critical for us to be able to keep great ideas and people with great ideas here in Pittsburgh, embrace those ideas, and allow them to sprout and flourish into big ideas.
The New Idea Factory was an effort to get people stimulated to think about ideas and things that we could do in this community to improve economic development, attract young people. But the New Idea Factory, while it produced 100 wonderful ideas, it's very hard to sustain. And now Sprout is the natural extension of that, in which we take those ideas, apply funding, and really focus on a few of the ideas that we think are the best and implement them.
Making a scene is about networking with other people, not only artists, but people that are citizens in neighborhoods that live in other areas.
Every day at lunch here at Free Markets, we have people who leave Free Market Center and walk towards Market Square. We walk by one of the projects that Sprout funded in the last year, which was the investment in an art gallery in the Skinny Building, which is a venue that's created a lot of attention. It grabs the attention of employees from our company who walk by it every day, and reinforces the commitment to cultural and art, which is something that gets people to come to Pittsburgh because they want to be here, and it gets people to stay downtown after hours to participate in the rest of the cultural life.
Because we're not a nonprofit 501c3, it was hard for us to get funding, but the Sprout enabled us to tap into the foundation resources. So I would say that our success and Sprout's success goes hand in hand. We have demonstrated that we were worthy of their investment because we started out as nothing, an oddity, a building that was just an architectural oddity, and now I think that we've achieved a certain visibility.
What makes Sprout important to Pittsburgh is that we have a tendency to be very conservative, that we generally invest in what we think is a great idea. I'm not sure we're good at investing in what might be a great idea. Sprout becomes important because it seeds the idea that is to come.
Sprout's new, Sprout's young, and Sprout is nimble. So Sprout can do things that some of the bigger, heavier 900-pound gorillas can't quite do yet.
They understand, they inherently know how to go about building a new process, and it's smart enough to know that little things, seemingly little things now, can build to really significant larger things in the future.
I feel like as a young person living in Pittsburgh, I personally have a unique perspective on what's going on in the city. I feel empowered by getting to make the choices, so that makes me want to be more active in my community.
Sprout was different from other boards because the target market, I think, for Sprout in most situations were the people that were actually the active board members.
An amazing sense when we talk to folks from the other major metropolitan areas that Pittsburgh's still a city that has an image that's been frozen in the 1950s or 1960s. That's really out of date when all is said and done, and an image that we'd really like to bring the new message of what Pittsburgh is out to the world.
We constantly hear these statistics about how we're the second oldest community in the United States. Yet the reality is we have the 6th largest concentration of college students of any region in the United States. It's becoming more and more obvious that young people today have plenty of options, that young professional workers are an extremely mobile lot. They don't necessarily choose a place to live by where the job is, they also choose by the quality of life that they can enjoy there. So a big part of what we've been working on as a region for the past 10 years is making sure that they have both those options to consider when they consider staying or moving to this region.
Well, I think you have to do 2 strategies really in a community to make it grow. You've got to have the big projects, the stadiums, the convention centers, the big developments. Those take a long time, they take years and a lot of funding. But we also need the grassroots. We need the young people with their ideas working, bubbling up from the bottom. Then you get sort of a dynamic that is very alive and I think very useful in the community.
It's critically important that we continue to make these kinds of investments and involve young people to stem the outmigration of our young talent and to create an environment where we have the knowledge workers and we have the ideas being generated here in our region that will make us a productive economy.
Part of the value that Sprout really adds to the community is the ability to take that person who may be someone who is maybe not as well versed or doesn't know as much about how things work in Pittsburgh per se. You're able to take that person and say, great idea, here's a link to funding, now go out and make your idea happen.
Sprout has a lot of potential. The chance to, it's just a great idea to be able to give young people the chance to take a project and their idea and bring it to fruition.
The only negative thing about Sprout I can say is the fact that not enough people know about it, and I am one of the people that are going to go out of my way to make sure that everyone knows, from community to abroad, what this is trying to give to people via the arts, via mindset, via life. Just the ability to realize one's dreams and to, with a little bit of work, a little bit of dedication, to be able to make those dreams manifest.